Okay. So this is my final part to the Las Vegas shooting episodes. They really do want to confuse the people. Alright. Gio Rios. Look him up. He's one of the people that was in the front row at the Las Vegas shooting. And this last part is his accounts of what happened from beginning to end of what happened from the time that the shooting started, when they were in the front row listening to music and everything started, to the time he got back to his hotel room and waited until Trump spoke the next morning to be able to go to sleep. And this is his accounts of what happened. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The information needs to get out. We can make a difference all over the entire earth, but we must speak up.
Don't try to waste my time with all of your useless lies. My mind unlocked, my time to shine. I'm on.
Beautiful. You know, Jason Aldean was doing a great job. He said he was going to give us a great performance. He wasn't going to talk. He was up there on stage. He was killing it. He was doing everything right. And so, of course, you know, we were enjoying the performance. He was entertaining us, and we loved his music. So then, this is when it all begins. So me and her, we're standing, and we're listening to music, and next thing you know, we're in the top, like the front and the right side stage. We hear like firecrackers, like ta 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 ta, and I heard it. Everybody heard it around us, and everybody's kind of looking around, like who did that? Where did it come from? You know, nobody knew where it came from. It was so unexpected. So then we hear a second series of the firecrackers go off, and when the second series came off, Jason Aldean noticed it upstage as well, and he kind of started looking towards our direction, and everybody else was like, "What in the world?" This guy came running to us, and he ran into my girlfriend because she's in front of me, and he was up in the front. He ran into my girlfriend, and I was like, honestly, this is how I'm telling you guys everything as truthful as I can. Yes, I do worship, you know, God, and I am a good Christian, but I was upset, and I did curse. So the guy came, and he ran up to us, and he ran into my girlfriend. I was like, hey, dude, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you running into us? And he goes, dude, there's shots going. This guy was right in front of us. He just went down. He's dead. He's dead. And I was like, oh, like, that's like when it all clicked in, and then you can hear the ta 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 ta, and he's not stopping. The shots are going. Jason Aldean ran off stage, and then as we're hearing that, we instantly drop, and there's people getting shot all around us, everywhere around us. I swear, it was very, 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 very scary. I mean, we're loving life. 1 second, we're listening to Jason Aldean. This is amazing. Next thing you know, we're fighting for our lives. We don't even know if we're going to live. There's 2 people that got shot that landed on her legs, and then 1 guy got shot and landed on her back. The guy on her back was completely unresponsive, and I truly believe that he was no longer with us. And that was very hard to see, and especially with my girlfriend under them. I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out, and I thought I had got shot as well because I had a wet sensation on my lower left back. Now we're running, and we're trying to evade. We're trying to get out, but we're close to the front, so it felt like forever for us to get out of the venue. We're running. We hear the shots again, instantly drop. People in front of us are still running because they didn't. I mean, some people were running and some people were dropping, but no matter what, I told her, I was like, babe, we need to drop. We need to get out of here. We need to get cover. Whatever we can do, we're in the wide open, and the guy's shooting straight to us. So So we get down, and we're laying down, and I have my head down, and she has her head down. She couldn't move, so I literally threw her down. And, babe, I'm sorry. I threw you down. She had scrapes on her knees and everything, but I didn't care. I had to make sure that she got down, and I got down, and we were hopefully going to make it out alive. Because at that time, we had no idea if we were or weren't. So people around us are getting shot. And now, if I pray that you guys never, ever have to hear this, and I don't want to stress this out too much, but when people get shot around you, you can hear it. You can hear when the bullets actually make contact with the body. And that is a very, 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 it's very hard to hear. You don't want to hear that. You can hear when the bullets don't hit, and you can hear when the bullets do. And I heard more bullets hitting than didn't. And that was very, very scary. So it was just really, it came down to, at the end of it all, where you were at that time. I mean, it was just so scary. Anyways, so we're down again, and we do this consecutively for about 3 times before we get towards the middle where the shopping center is in the venue. And as we're there, I kind of try to take cover behind a tree, but that didn't really work out because there was already people there. So then I like ran towards the shops. We laid down there. I told her, no matter what, you stay low. I don't care. Like, if you just hear for 1 second, you hear a shot, stay low. Like, get down on the ground. I don't care, because the shots were going off so much that it was a workout. Literally, I'm telling you, getting down, dropping down, running, dropping down, running, dropping down, running, dropping down, like, so repetitiveness, like, you have no idea. Like, it drained us. It literally drained every little part of us that we could possibly have. It took all of us, all of what was in us. So now we're making it out, right? And we see everybody running towards the right exit, or the right entrance that we use as an exit as well, and the left entrance that we use as an exit as well. And the left entrance is the strip entrance, and then the right entrance is like a back entrance. I don't know, it's by the porta potties. So everybody's running over there, and they're all in crowds and hordes of people. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, we're not going where everyone is, because that's where the shooter's going to shoot. We are running straight through the back, and we're staying away from everyone. And so we did. We ran straight through the back of the venue, and there was a fence, like about a 10-foot fence. And there was a green sheet on both sides of the fence, and it was one of those that you can climb, but you couldn't because it had the sheet in between them. So there was an orange gate, that like a divider gate that was pried up against the fence, and people were using it as a ladder. I think there was two guys that were standing on the other side of the fence catching everybody, and one of them caught my girlfriend. So thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate you for helping everyone get over that fence, especially those 2 ladies. All the ladies that were there, you guys are heroes. Everyone who lived is a hero from that event, and I want to make that clear, because everybody participated in some sort of way to get somebody else out alive. And that's the true beauty of it. You know, it wasn't just a tragedy. It wasn't just a nightmare. There was a lot of beautiful things going on, a lot of people taking care of each other. And thank you so much to those 2 brave guys that were taking care of making sure that girls were jumping over the fence and not breaking their ankles or their legs or their arms or whatever. So we're getting over now, and now we're running across the street, and we hear shots coming from like Hooters, MGM area over there. There was shots coming from over there, and there was shots going from Mandalay Bay. Sorry, my brother's girlfriend's getting home right now. So shots were going from Mandalay. You know, they were really deep, really far, and then you can hear like a hey, Rocky, shh, shh. So we're hearing multiple shots now, and this is our first encounter to multiple shots, and we're running across the street, and there's a parking lot, Tropicana parking lot, and so we go into the parking lot, and she's can't breathe, she can't see, so I get her behind a car, and the shots are still going off, and people are around us, and they're noticing how much of an attack she's having, and they just wanted to comfort her. And there was an elderly lady who actually approached us, and she helped comfort my girlfriend. And so thank you to you as well. Like I said, thank you to everybody who was there and helped everyone, especially those who helped us get out. And this one over here, she was very, very, very terrified. Everybody was. So now everybody's going into Tropicana through this back entrance. We kind of had to jump down from a little wall, and there is an open door. There is a door open, and everybody's going up with their hands up. Both of your hands up. Everybody's walking through, and it's a hallway. And and there's just hordes of people funneling into this room. And so everybody's trying to get in, everybody's trying to get in, everybody's trying to get in. Everybody has their hands up, and we're all finally getting in. We're going through the hallway. There's blood on the walls. You can see handprints on the doors. I mean, there was blood everywhere. It was. I don't want to speak about it too much because I know some people get sensitive with blood and everything, but it was everywhere. So we're going in, and they're trying to direct everyone into the casino at Tropicana. And I noticed it, and I'm like, why? Why is everyone... I don't want to stay with groups of people. That was, like, my main thing, is we're not going in groups of people. We're staying away from everyone, and we're going to do our own thing, and we're going to try to make it out safe and sound. So this guy comes in. This is the part that everybody's questioning, and I'm telling you guys now, this is how it went down. So he walks in from the pool area, and he has a suitcase. Mind you, nobody around right now has a suitcase. Nobody's even as calm as this guy. This guy walked in and he was very, very calm, right? So I'm under the impression this guy works here. And I asked him, first thing is, hey, can I go out that way? Because there was guys that were saying, go to the casino. Everybody go to the casino. And I was like, I don't want to go to the casino. There's doors right here. And if I can go out this way, I'm going out this way. So this guy walks in. I think he works there because he's wearing a black collared shirt. He has white lettering right here on his left side. And he wasn't wearing a hat, he wasn't wearing glasses, but he had short hair, he had thick eyebrows, and he was kind of like this color tone. He was a lighter brown, and he was very big, like a very muscular man. He had thick chest, thick arms, and so he walked in, and I asked him, hey, can I go out that way? And he goes, no, you need to go into the casino, you need to go in the casino. So he's kind of directing me now, and I'm like, hey, like, do you work here? Like, why can't I go out this way? And at the same time, I'm questioning why he has this black polymer suitcase, you know? So I asked him, can I go out that way? He says, no, you need to go into the casino. And I asked him, do you work here? He said, no. And he's very calm, and everybody's freaking out. And so I told him, I was like, well, what's in the suitcase? You know, like, what's in the suitcase? I want to know what's in the suitcase. Why are you telling me to go to the casino? I'm not going to listen to you, and if you don't work here, why can't I go out there, and why are you telling me to go in here, and what's in the suitcase? Those are three things that I'm trying to figure out. And he's like, oh, nothing. And he's very calm, like, you know, everybody's freaking out. I mean, this guy, how can you be so calm when you see everybody running through, people, blood everywhere? There was a guy that was on the ground next to the wall who was bleeding, and he was dead. Like, he was dead. My girlfriend saw him. Babe, did you see him? She saw him for like 3 seconds, and I told her to look away because it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. This guy was on the ground. He had shots on his legs, shots on his torso, and shot in his arm. He was shot in the arm, and everybody was really focused on his arm and his body. But he was dead. He already had his head back. His eyes were closed. He wasn't moving. And so she had to see that. And so after seeing that, I'm trying to get out of this place because I don't know what's going on. I know this guy had gotten shot before, but... So the guy with the suitcase, I tell him, do you work here? He says no. I asked him if I can go outside. He said no. I asked him if he worked there. He said no. I asked him what's in the suitcase. He said nothing. So I'm super like very, very curious, and I want to know what's in the suitcase because this guy is walking in when everyone is like freaking out, and he's very calm. He's collected, and he has this kind of demeanor like, oh, like he was just walking very calm, and I something was wrong. I could tell something was wrong. I didn't like it. I felt it was like a planned setup. And so I'm confronting him now, and I'm telling him what's in the suitcase, and another guy runs up. He goes, yeah, I'm with him. What's in the fucking suitcase? And the guy goes, okay. So he looks me dead in the eyes. The whole entire time, I kid you not, he looks me in the eyes, and he goes, he gets down. He's not looking at the suitcase. He's looking at me. And he's looking straight at me in the eyes, and he has a grin on his face, and he's ready to open up. And as soon as he's down and he's like at that point where he's about to open it up, shots fired in Tropicana Casino, and everybody's freaking out. And her and I, we heard them. They were like, they were totally different. They were actually ARs, and they were suppressed. And there were 3 bursts. 3 bursts inside the Tropicana Casino. People who were there inside will tell you that there was that, and that happened, and it was confirmed via those people that were in there. So the shots went off, and he ran into the casino when everybody was running out and trying to get to safety. He ran into the casino. He didn't open it. He just ran in there, and I feel like I held him back from what he was supposed to do. This is truly what I feel. Now, it could be wrong. I could be right. I could be wrong. I have no idea. But the fact is that once the shots went off, he ran in there, like as if he was a police officer. You know, that's something that police officers do. They run to danger. When danger happens, anyone who's ever faced a life or death situation, you run. And you run away, you know? This guy ran in, and he had a suitcase, and who knows what was in the suitcase? I have no idea. Maybe he went in there and he felt like he had to do his job. I don't know. I have no idea. But I feel like I did hold him back from what he was supposed to do, which could have been him walking through the back of the pool area while someone else walked through the front, and them both just spraying and letting everybody get shot. You know, people are saying there's shots at Bellagio. I wasn't there. I can't tell you, but I was at Tropicana, and I did hear those shots, and we ran out to the day pool area, and we hid in the cabanas for 30 minutes. She was laying down, and I was laying on top of her. I told her to keep her head low. I told her to stay quiet because she's breathing really loud. And then there's a trash can in there, and she just kept throwing up. And yes, I do believe that if he opened up the suitcase, he was ready to just shoot me down. I'm thankful that the shooter, I don't think anybody really died in there. I have no idea. I ran out, and I don't know what happened in there. But we did hear the shootings, and I didn't see them, but I heard them. And if I was in the casino, who knows if I would have been able to tell the story right now. But I did not want to go into herds or flocks of people. I was trying to stay away from them because I knew that's what their motive was. Their motive was to get everyone into groups of people and shoot as many as they can in short amount of times, and then try to run and get away. The suitcase was about it was give me 1 second, hold on. So the suitcase was about, this is a trash can, I don't know how big it is, but it was about this short. Hold on. It was about this short. It wasn't as long as this, and it was about this wide. So it was a good sized square. It was black. It didn't have any branding on it. I didn't see any branding. So it was big enough to hold maybe a foldable rifle. I have no idea. I have no idea, but it wasn't big enough to hold a whole rifle in itself. So that's already ruled out as a possible weapon. But it could have been a foldable AR. I have no idea. It could have just been money. Maybe he didn't want to show me he had money in his suitcase, but it didn't seem that way. My gut is pretty. It had a strong feeling that something wrong was with this guy. So. Or it could have been a Tech 9. Yeah, it could have been a Uzi. All I know is that the burst of shots were very quick, and they didn't last long. They were not 15 seconds long like the Mandalay Bay shooter was. They were very short bursts, and it was almost as if they just wanted to get a few shots in and then quickly get out, because they knew that police were going to be there like that, because the streets were filled with, they were on lockdown. Everything was done. Someone's saying that there were shots at Paris. I wasn't there. I don't know. But now this is where it gets crazy. Crazier. I mean, this whole thing is crazy. I know. But so we get out to the pool day pool area, and we're laying in the cabana now. We're in there for 30 minutes, and I'm telling her to keep quiet. And we're quiet. We made it. There's people still running around. And so we hop over the fence, and we lay down on this little hill. And it wasn't a hill, actually. It was like there was a bunch of plants in between the day pool and the hotel area in Tropicana, and there's a fence that you had to jump over. So we jumped over that fence, and then we were in between the day pool area and the hotel. And there's a bunch of like plants and rocks and trees, and so we hid in there. I had a white shirt, so I took my shirt off, and we're laying on the dirt, and I'm telling her not to move. I'm telling her to stay still. People are running around us, so I'm just really trying not to be seen. I don't know where the shooter is, and so we're laying down there, and I'm like, babe, we need to find out if Nate and Paige are okay. So we checked. That's my brother and his girlfriend. They said they were fine, and they were so far gone. They were like about 2 miles down from the strip. Oh no, they were like a mile away. They were out in front of Bellagio. Where were they? You don't remember? They were pretty far, and we were barely at Tropicana. We didn't make it far at all. There was just too much chaos going on. So we're laying down, and I told my girlfriend, and we're laying down, and we found out they're okay, but I had to go to the restroom, and I wasn't going to flip around. I wasn't going to make any movement. So we're laying down completely still, and I'm like, babe, I'm going to go pee. Like, I have to pee, and I'm not moving. I don't want our lives. I don't want our cover to be taken or anything. At this point, you just don't know where the shooter is, so you don't want to make any sudden movements. You don't want to be noticed. So we're laying down, and I pee. I had to go pee. So yeah, I let it out, and I felt better, of course, obviously. But see, these are the little details I didn't give in the writing, and I'm letting you guys know, since you guys are going live with me. I'm letting you guys know. Yeah, I pissed myself because I didn't want to blow my cover. So now we're going into the hotel area, and so we get in there, and there's a girl in front of the elevator, and she's African American, and she's projectile vomiting, just completely vomiting, projectile. A girl across from her was sitting down. She was shot in the back of the leg, and she was saying, I'm fine, don't worry about me, I'm okay, I'm shot in the back of the leg, but I'm fine. So nobody, there was people around her, but she was just telling everybody who got around her that she was fine. So for the most part, everybody just let her be. I really hope that woman got taken care of, and she's fine now. And I know, hopefully, she hears the story, because I did see her, and I did see the African American woman actually throwing up and getting sick. So now we're going through, and at the front door of where we were, there was 3 gentlemen, and all 3 of them, I walked outside, and I said, hey, I'm gonna take off. And they're like, you can't go anywhere. And I was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, And he was like, he didn't really question it, but at first he was just like, you can't go anywhere. You need to stay here. There's no cops out there or whatever. He was just like, you need to stay in here. This is your best bet, kind of a deal. And I was like, no, it's not. I'm getting the hell out of here. We're running out. So I grabbed her. Obviously, she was with me the whole entire time, and we're walking. Now we're walking, kind of running, because you just don't know what's going on. You don't know where anyone is. And so she wants to walk. She's out of breath. She's tired. And I'm like, no, we need to run. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. We're running. I'm running and kind of not running to, kind of appease her needs. Because we're out of breath. We had no water. We're devastated and everything. So now we're running through this alleyway. There's an alleyway, and there's a fence with electronic stuff in it, and then across from it there's a big industrial trash can. And then if you keep going down the alleyway, there's a parking structure. And so now we're running, and then what happened, babe?
There were shots.
There were shots? Where? From New York, Excalibur area. We heard shots and saw them, the muzzle flash, literally outside. It wasn't inside. It was not inside. It was outside. And the shots were coming, literally, they were going towards our direction, towards the parking structure at Tropicana. I threw her behind the pillar, and I said, babe, stay low. We need to take cover. So she saw the muzzle flashes from very up close. And we don't like talking about it. It's not something to take very lightly. A lot of people don't believe that we saw the things that we saw. They think that we were like I'm Superman and I was everywhere at one place, and that's not true. I'm just saying that Tropicana shootings we heard, and the New York Excalibur, I'm not sure which one it really was, but it came from that direction because it's across the street from the parking structure at Tropicana. If you look it up on the maps, you'll see Tropicana, you'll see the parking structure, and you'll see New York, and Excalibur. So we saw the muzzle flashes, and it was about 2 bursts. and I threw her behind the pillar, and we're taking cover, and now we're running through this hallway alongside of the parking structure. And there's one guy standing there, and he's saying, "Come this way." He grabs, what did he do, babe?
He grabbed my arm and pulled me.
He grabbed her. I'm with her, and this guy comes and grabs my girlfriend and tries to pull her and tell him that she needs to go that way. No, that doesn't work with me, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't know who the fuck you were to try to grab my girlfriend and tell her where she needs to go or where we need to go. But that wasn't flying. You were not police. Maybe your intentions were right. Maybe they were good. Maybe they were bad. I have no idea, but I wasn't going to let somebody tell me where to go. Not at a devastating time like that. It was very volatile. You don't know where the shooters are. We just heard and saw the New York Excalibur shootings, and he's trying to tell us, like, hey, come over here, come over here. Sketchy. Fuck you. Not working with me. You know? So I told him, no, like, we're going to go our own way. So we ran back the way that we ran from, and we jumped into the trash can. The trash can had a table and some chairs next to it, and I told her to get on the table and jump over. She gets on the trash can, and she's sitting up on the top. Like, this trash can is about, I don't know, maybe 10 feet high. It's 10 feet high. So now we're near a parking structure. We're in an open area, and she sits on top of the trash can, and she's, like, sitting there for, like, you know, I want to say 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a very long time, okay? It's a very long time in those situations. So I told her to hurry up and get her ass in there, and she was worried because there was, like, nails and, like, you know, broken table legs with nails hanging out, so she didn't want to jump in right away, which I get, but, like, hurry up, you know, kind of a deal. So she got in, I got in. I went into this area in there, and I had my shoulder, like, on a piece of wood, and I was laying back, and I had her laying on myself, and we laid there for 3 hours, and that's the first time we let our friends and family know that that we were okay. And I posted the status on Facebook, and I don't remember the time. You guys can check my timeline, but that's the time where I felt it was okay. I was safe. I was in a trash can. Nobody had seen us. We were okay for the time being. So I wanted to let my family and friends know, because I was getting calls. My phone battery was at like 10% when the whole thing started going down. So when I posted the status on Facebook, I was at like 7%, and I wanted to save as much battery as I can, or as I could. And so helicopters, before I get to that, so we're in the trash can, and there's like a bunch of electronics, and there's like cardboards, and there's cardboard boxes, like flat cardboard boxes, and I lay them over us. There's 2 of them that I could pull out from the trash can, so I pulled them out and I laid them over us to cover us, so people can see us if they look in the trash can. So we're in there, and we're in our little, like, hut, almost, a cardboard hut, and that was the best thing that I could do at that time. There was nowhere, I didn't want to run anywhere, and so helicopters are flying. There's 2 helicopters, the lights are flying around everywhere, and at this time, the shooter's already dead. You know, they had already announced that the shooter was dead. My dad texted me, said they got the one shooter, and they were still going around in the helicopters for hours. The whole time we were in the trash can, there was a helicopter flying around. And helicopter fuel is not cheap. It's very expensive. And I get it, yeah, our tax dollars pay for it, whatever. But why? Why were they flying, and why were they shining lights on like Excalibur, New York area? Because that's all we could see. We're under cardboard boxes, but we could see out of a little window, and the helicopter had its light, and it was going around Excalibur, New York area, like New York. And so if they only got one shooter, why were they flying around for the whole time while we were in the trash can? And I don't know when we got inside, further on in the story, once we went to the other place where we went to, I don't know how long they were flying, but if they were flying there all night, why? Why were they flying all night? You know, if they got one shooter and they knew it was one shooter right away, why were they flying the whole entire time? You know, it makes no sense to me. So that's kind of a concern for me, They're trying to say that it was one shooter, and if they really truly believe that, why did they have helicopters going around? Like, they know that there was multiple shooters. They know that the New York Excalibur shooting was right outside. It wasn't inside. It was outside. We saw the muzzle flashes. You know, Tropicana was inside, like the casino area where they were trying to direct everyone, but it was very short. So that by the time the police got there, the guy was already gone. So those are the three that I can personally myself confirm. And I know what bullets sound like. I know what shooting a gun sounds like. I have a gun. I also am getting an AR right now. But I've shot my buddy's AR, Curtis. And we've done extensive shooting. I mean, I know what it sounds like when shots are going off, and I know what echo sounds like too. So the helicopter just flying around the whole entire time, and she wants to get to our hotel because why?
I didn't want to be outside.
You didn't want to be outside? Okay. And what else, baby? You told me some other things too. I had my gun in my room, and she just wanted to be back in her room. She wanted to be safe. Of course, I'm not going to go out there with my handgun and try to kill whoever it was. I wasn't going to do that, but she just wanted to feel safe. And no matter what, no matter where we went, it didn't feel safe. That time, it didn't feel safe no matter where we went. So we get out of the trash can, and we want to go to Luxor. We want to run there. We have our room key. We're ready to go. We jump out. As soon as we jump out, there's a cop, and he flashes his light, and he goes, "What are you guys doing?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like so thankful it was a cop and it wasn't anyone else. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your service, sir. I'm with my girlfriend. We've been in here for 3 hours. Can you take us to our cousin's house? Because my brother and his girlfriend got a taxi and went to my cousin Lee's house. And he lived like about 20 minutes away. And I asked the police officer directly. I said, "Sir, can you please escort us to my cousin's house? He's like 10 minutes away." You know, I under-exaggerated it, so he could probably say yeah. But he said no, and he said that I need to go into Tropicana because they have it contained, and that they have tactical police in there, and that there's a safe place to go in. It's like a conventional hall or whatever. There's no windows. So we had to go in there because the police told us to, and I listened to the police because I trust them. I don't trust strangers, but the police, I feel like, were there for our best interest. Maybe they just didn't know entirely what was all going on, but they were doing their best, and they did a great job. So major props to the police officers there on site that night, because it was very hard to do the job that night. But that police officer directed us to go into Tropicana and that we would be safe in there. So we went in. And as we're walking to go in there, there's a bunch of people in there. Again, I still don't like groups of people, but we're walking through this hallway. We have to go upstairs Tropicana, past the casino, upstairs into like this. There's a long hallway, and there's floor to ceiling windows through this entire hallway, and the hallway feels like it runs forever. And on one side, on the left side, if you're walking straight to the back where they said that they wanted everyone to go to, which is where we ended up. As you're walking to the back to the left, you can see Mandalay Bay. I could see Mandalay Bay to the left in that little hallway in Tropicana. And then to the right, you could see MGM. So I'm like, dude, this is a setup. Like, I was scared. I was obviously, panicked, and I was freaking out. But why? Why would they get everyone into a room where there's no windows, but go through a hallway that's floor-to-ceiling windows, and you can clearly see MGM and you can see MGM and you can see Mandalay Bay. It was just so scary. I didn't like it. I told her, no matter what, stay low. Everybody's in there walking around. Some people are sitting down along the walls. And there's just people just standing like nothing just happened or anything. But like, dude, there's active shooters out there. Don't know where they are. They could be anywhere, And yes, I did talk to the FBI. I'll get to that in a bit. So I was just totally scared about the whole thing, the whole ordeal. We finally made our way in. Everybody was funneling in. They had blankets, they had water, and we were there for hours. They didn't let anyone into their hotels because they were clearing every single room of every single hotel, which, by the way, if there's only one shooter, what are you doing that for? What are you doing that for? Why are you clearing every single room of every single hotel where there was active shooters? Answer that. I have no idea. Why do they do that? I get it to be safe, but if you knew there was only one shooter and you were super positive, 100% positive that there was only one shooter and there was no other shooters, there would be no reason to clear every single room of every hotel around the venue that you heard that there was reports of shootings. So I get it. It was their protocol, whatever. So they're clearing every room. Our hotel is right next to Mandalay Bay, so it was one of the last ones that we could go to. So they finally announced there was a police officer that went in with his, like, he had his, you know, those, what is it called? I don't know, those electronic, you know, those things? Yeah. I don't know why I can't think of it right now, but he went in there and he started telling everybody, hey, we're going to start getting everybody in sections to go to their rooms. Everybody that's at Tropicana that is checked in here, you guys can go to your rooms now. And this is over a megaphone. Yeah, megaphone. So over time, they were letting people go into their rooms at Tropicana because they had cleared every room there and it was fine. So we weren't staying at Tropicana, but then there was people that were waiting to go to Excalibur, people that were waiting to go to New York, people that were waiting to go to Luxor, people that were waiting to go to Mandalay Bay. There was people that were waiting to go to Delano. There was people that were waiting to go to MGM. There was people waiting to go everywhere, you know, but they only allowed Tropicana people to go up after being in there for an hour and a half. So they didn't allow us to go back to our hotel until 4:20 a.m. It was like somewhere around 4:20 a.m. And so, you know, even though they cleared us to go, I still ran to our hotel room. Babe, how bad did you not want to run?
My knee was all banged up.
Her knee was banged up, so she was feeling pain, and she just didn't want to run. She was tired, but I told her, we need to run. I don't care, because I knew that there was still more shooters out there, and I just didn't want to chance it. So we ran back to our hotel room. We got back there. Finally, oh my gosh, and also while we were laying down in that room where there was blankets and water, there was this girl that was next to us who was talking. We were talking to her for a very long time. She was from Canada. If you're listening and if you're here, like, thank you for, you know, being nice and letting me use your phone and just hanging out, and because my battery was dead. And there was another woman who was there who let me use her charger. She had a battery pack. She let me charge my phone for a little bit. So thankful for that too. So just thank you to everyone who participated in any kind gesture that night. There was a lady that was bringing her water and blankets because she was cold. And so now we're back at our hotel room, and I got my phone on the charger, and we turn on the TV. The TV's on. We're listening to it, and then they say 2 are confirmed dead and 20 are injured. What was your reaction, babe?
It's much more than that.
It was much more than that. 2 and 20? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We had already seen from the front line where we had initially got the shots, there was at least 20 that went down around us, and not all of them are probably dead, but a lot of them are wounded, and some of them might be dead, you know. But I don't want to think about that, and I don't want to talk about it like it's light, because it's not a light thing to take. It's very, very heavy, and so they said that, and I was really upset. And then it said, if you have any information, if you have anything to say, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. And that's what I did. I called FBI, and they recorded the whole entire message, and the lady was typing. I could hear her typing everything that I was saying, and I told her about the guy with the suitcase. I told her about the shootings at Tropicana. I told her about the shootings outside of New York, Excalibur. I told her about the Mandalay Bay shooting and the fireworks. I told her about everything. Okay? So they know, and they have my number, they have my name, and they have my home address. So I let it out there for them. And at that time, I didn't think that I had anything really to worry about. But the next day, I had to tell the story. I had to tell everybody. And, you know, we saw the windows busted out in Mandalay. I stayed up that night until Trump went on and he spoke. He spoke at our time. It was 7:30 a.m. and I was awake until then, and I heard him speaking, and I turned it, and I went to sleep right away because it wasn't right. It was a terrorist attack. It was a terrorist attack, okay? I just want everybody to realize what happened last weekend, exactly 1 week ago, was a terrorist attack. It was group organized, it was choreographed, and I don't want anyone thinking that it was a one-person shooter. There's no way in hell a 64-year-old untrained man can shoot an automatic military-grade weapon from a 34th floor at a declining grade and hit people, and bullets are going like this, not like this. I mean, there's bullets that were hitting people on the pelvic and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that a 64-year-old man can shoot an automatic military-grade weapon for 10 minutes straight. There's no way. And if you believe that, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I have no words for you. But it was a terrorist attack. And Donald Trump can't say that it was because he doesn't want to have a terrorist attack under his belt while he's in presidency. But you know what? Who gives a shit about what's on your fucking belt while you're the president? You know what I'm saying? Like, be fucking real. Tell the people the truth. If you are running our country, you need to tell them the truth. Because here's the one thing that I don't like about this. Here's the one matter of fact that I don't like. And this is why I'm coming out and I'm telling everyone this story. Okay? No one in this life is free. Not without truth. The only thing that sets anyone free is truth. Truth sets everyone free. And if you're not going to be truthful and you're going to lie, people will never be free. These people who lost their family members are never going to have the feeling that they're never going to have a fulfillment in their heart feeling. They're not going to have a strong feeling about this. This is immense, people. Like, this is so huge, it's not even funny. This is a terrorist attack on U.S. soil, and there's still terrorists out there on our soil that are planning another attack. I mean, they don't just think of this in one day. They think about it in months in advance, and they have an agenda. They have a schedule. They're ready. They have their weapons still. Maybe that. I don't know if they recovered any weapons. No one will know. But if they didn't, they still have them. And if they still have them, they're going to use them.